Hello everyone, this is Luxury PL38. This video particularly, I would like to talk about the implications of Chanel prices last week. We do realize that Chanel increased their price from their permanent line collections, basically the Boy, the Gabrielle, the Chanel 19, and the classic flap. The classic flap actually increases the highest from somewhere between 15 to 25%. So this video I want to talk about the implications of those permanent collections price increases and the impact of those and the effect to other Chanel products, mainly the non-permanent collections, because Chanel have quite a few styles. So there are 4 very popular styles from Chanel that are not considered permanent, and from here I want to talk about these 4 non-permanent styles and why the price increase last week will affect these styles and the popularity of these bags. And once again, as you can see, I do wear a glove because I do intend to let this go. This is my Coco handle, and if you look at the color, they're both the same color. They're basically, I'm just gonna cover the shade a little bit. They're basically the same color, and that's the reasons why I decided to let this go. They're both Rogue, and I do own quite a few Coco handle. I don't see the point of me to have the exact same color unless it is permanent collections such as the classic flap or the Chanel 19, but it's just personal preferences, and that's the reasons why I decided to let this go. It is featured on my Instagram account if you're interested. So back to the video itself, there are 4 styles from Chanel that is not part of their permanent collections, but they are still very popular. The first one is the Deauville tote. The Deauville tote actually priced starting from 3,000 Canadian dollars if you're after the fabric materials, and if you're after the leather materials, it starts from 4,700-ish. And the Coco handle, it is an extremely popular bag because of the lower price point, and also because it comes in 3 different sizes: small, regular, and large. It starts from 4,600-ish Canadian dollars, and it goes up between 200 to 300 Canadian dollars with the size from small to medium to large. So it is reasonably priced, and those two are pretty much very similar in terms of the price point. The third one is the Vanity case, which is a little bit trickier because of the style and the range. It is much broader. The particular one that I have that does look like a bucket bag, it is considered a vanity case, and I'm gonna show you the different sizes that Chanel has. The reasons why I say it is broader because it does come in quite a variety of sizes, and the more popular one is the one with the rectangular shaped. And the price point of this is somewhere between 5,000 Canadian dollars upwards. So it is priced a little bit higher. The one that I have is this one that looks more like a bucket bag. It is a lower price point. I purchased this for 4,300-ish Canadian dollars. So you can see it does have a broader range in terms of the price point and the shade. And in fact, the material they use, it does have a broader range as well. As you can see, this is made in, I think it is made of rattan wood materials, and it is quite expensive if I'm not mistaken, because I did see that listed as around 8,000 Canadian dollars. But these are all the different variety of the vanity case that Chanel actually brought out, and the more popular ones are the one in this shaped. So in terms of the fourth one, the last one is the Trendy CC. The Trendy CC has got the highest entry point. The one that I have, it actually cost me 6,400 Canadian dollars. So the entry level for a Trendy CC, it's very close to the classic flap in terms of the price wise. I don't advise someone to purchase this as their first Chanel bag, simply because for that price that you're gonna pay for this, you might as well be getting a classic flap, because the classic flap is timeless, and it won't be out of style anytime, because it has been around for decades. It will be around for probably more decades, whereas the Trendy CC, it is not a permanent collection, meaning Chanel will pull out and stop supporting it anytime, or even discontinue this style anytime whenever they want to. So for that price point, unless you already owned a classic flap and you're looking for an alternative, by all means, the Trendy CC is a very good alternative, provided you do have that price point entry. But let's talk a little bit about the implications of the price increase last week. Because what happened with the huge price increase from the classic flap, for someone that wants to purchase their first Chanel bag, a lot of us actually consider the mini square and the mini rectangular as the first Chanel bag, because of the lowest price point, which is around 4,000 Canadian dollars. You can get in a Chanel bag, and you can get the classic one. It is the classic. It does look like a classic, the mini square and the mini rectangular. It is now, as acknowledged by Chanel last week, part of the classic flap. So the entry point is very, very attractive for the mini square and the mini rectangular. Before the price increase, it was lowest of all these. If you compare to all other Chanel lines, the mini square and the mini rectangular is the lowest in terms of the price-wise entry point. However, with the price increase last week, the mini square and the mini rectangular has jumped by so much that it now costs more expensive than any of those Coco handle, the full-toed, and the Vanity case. To a certain degree, it is more expensive than those three in terms of the price entry level. So the huge implications of the price jump for the mini square and mini rectangular pushes the classic flap mini square mini rectangular to be over this line of bags. So it pushes that away from it, meaning for someone that wants to purchase their first Chanel bag, they will have to look at other options, because the mini square and mini rectangular are now more expensive than this. They will find this as a more attractive alternatives. However, because of the popularity still, I don't see that affecting as much, because a lot of us would rather shell out a little bit more to get the mini square and the mini rectangular than maybe some of these three, even though the price now has jumped to be higher than those three. So that is the first implication of the price increase last week. The second implication deals more with the Trendy CC. The Trendy CC was actually priced at $6,400, the entry level. When it was released, the Trendy CC in 2014, it was already priced at a much higher price point. It maintained the higher price point even till now. However, because there was no price increase of Trendy CC last week, and there was a huge price increase of the classic flap last week, it now pushes the classic flap away from the Trendy CC. Before the price increase, the Trendy CC is actually more expensive than the Chanel 19, more expensive than the boy bag, more expensive than the Gabrielle, and it is also more expensive than the classic flap in small size. It is very close to the classic flap in medium size in terms of price wise, but because of that price increase last week, the Trendy CC now is cheaper than all of those. It kind of pushes the permanent line further away, and indirectly pushes Trendy CC into a lower price point, if you see what I mean, because those permanent collections increased their price last week. It indirectly pushes the Trendy CC into a lower price point, not by much, but it is at least, I don't know whether Chanel did it intentionally or unintentionally to justify the fact that the Trendy CC should not be more expensive than those 4 permanent lines. Now the Trendy CC is cheaper than those 4 permanent collections, especially the classic flaps. So that is the second implications that is based on the Trendy CC alone. The Trendy CC is very significant of the style because it does have that gold hardware. It is a very good trademark, and the trademark itself is significant. And I'm just going to show you one particular style that Chanel introduces in these new collections. It actually encompasses, back to the Vanity case, this is the one that I have, which is this one. However, this is kilted and this is the newer collections. If you look through the top of this Vanity case, it does have the Trendy CC gold hardware here. So I'm not sure whether this is a hybrid of a Trendy CC with the Vanity case, or I'm not sure whether Chanel is basically trying to superimpose the Trendy CC features into other bags, and maybe that's gonna capitalize on the popularity of the Trendy CC because it is initially launched as a much higher price point, and a lot of us can't actually afford a Trendy CC because of a higher price point, but they actually put this gold hardware feature of the Trendy CC into a lower price point bag, which is a Vanity bag, and that kind of pushes the Trendy CC into a more affordable, if it actually combined with another style which is on a lower price point. I hope I can explain that in a better terms, that the Trendy CC, I think Chanel was trying to push it a little bit lower and superimpose it on a lower price point bags, and that makes it a little bit more affordable for some people that love the features of the Trendy CC but cannot afford it. So in terms of this video itself, I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments about what implications the higher price point and the price adjustment that happened last week, what implications, and if some of us actually gonna consider this lower price point now because of the higher price point of those 4 that was pushed up last week. It just makes this into a little bit more attractive as an entry point for someone that wants to purchase their first Chanel bag. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and please comment if you do have any comments or thoughts about this video, and stay safe.